Well, good morning, KOTA territory. Welcome to First Sip on KOTA Now. If you're watching through our Facebook or our YouTube page or wherever you're watching us, we hope you're having a wonderful Thursday morning. I'm Humberto Giles Sanchez.
And I'm Kate Robinson.
And today we have some good topics for you from food replacements, talk about soda and butter and oil, and kind of some other stuff like screen fatigue. And we have some exercising stuff. Kate, if you want to kick us off?
Yeah, gonna start talking about exercising in the cold. Now it's warming up a little bit today, but it's still pretty chilly out, especially if you work out in the afternoon outside or in the mornings. It's still pretty chilly out there, and there can be kind of pros and cons to running outside and working out outside, whether you take a walk with your dog every morning or you're looking to go snowboarding this weekend. There are some ways to prepare your body before getting in motion in those cold temperatures, because the cold can kind of make your joints lock up, make your muscles lock up, which makes them easier to strain, pull, cause injury, all that stuff. So that's definitely one of the cons of working out outside. Some of the pros, of course, are increased calorie burning. Your body's working much harder to keep you warm and get you warmed up, resulting in increased calorie expenditure, which in turn also improves your cardiovascular health, because that stimulation makes your heart work more efficiently, makes it get going a little bit more, gets that blood flowing. So it can also reduce inflammation to work out in the cold, similar to putting ice on an injury.
No, and do you tend to work out outside during cold weather? Or?
I'm kind of a weenie. I will go to the gym when it comes to the weather being too cold outside. It's got to be above 40, 45 degrees for me to head out there. But today it's like the perfect day for me to work out outside.
I'll tell you right now, it's like once upon a long time ago at this point. I used to do that a lot, especially during like high school, to kind of, I used to run outside in cold weather because it was, I don't know, I felt like it was healthier. And now listening to this, it was kind of reinforcing that. I know a big thing that when I was in high school, one of the coaches told me, warm up before you do that, because like you said, the joints kind of lock up. It's cold outside, so your body kind of wants to tense up a little bit more. But yeah, warm up at least. And also something that I don't know if you can kind of clarify this, but hydrate. Especially because you don't feel it as much as you do during the winter or during the cold weather than when you do during the hotter weather or warmer weather.
It can kind of trick you into thinking that you're hydrated, even though you are burning more calories and your heart rate's increased. So you do, even when you're working out outside, want to carry your water with you if you can, and kind of just keep in mind that you do have to drink water during those long exercises outside. Some other things to kind of prepare yourself is to dress in layers. If you have like a long sleeve and a hoodie on and you get warmed up, then you can take the hoodie off, tie it around your waist, put it somewhere comfortable, just so you're not, immediately stepping out into the cold, almost like shocking your muscles into getting to work out. And with that, warm up gradually. If you're going on a run, do some jumping jacks, stretch inside before, maybe go on a little bit of a walk before, to get yourself kind of used to being outside in the cold. Make sure you're protecting your extremities when you're walking or running in the cold, and especially when you're snowboarding, that wind on your fingers can speed up the process of frostbite, so that can cause a lot of danger. So you'll want to make sure you're wearing gloves, covering your ears, especially. Most of your body heat actually leaves from your head, so it's smart to wear a beanie, wear a headband, something like that.
Stay warm. Even though you are working out and your body's getting warm, you still got to make sure that you're staying warm on the outside as well. Not making sure that if it is really cold outside, that not all of those things that are easily able to get frostbite are exposed.
Right. Yeah.
Because you might feel warm, but you could still definitely take that effect, or that effect of Mother Nature, beating your outer extremities out a little bit.
Right. And like a good rule of thumb is if your nose is starting to get cold, that's an indication that you might need to cover up your ears, cover up your hands, stuff like that, and even wear thick socks in your shoes. So from one exercise fatigue to another, we're talking about screen fatigue today as well. What does that even mean?
Well, I'll tell you right now. I know that unfortunately, on a constant basis for me, just because I tend to work a lot with editing stuff and having to look at a computer screen most of my day here in the studio, in the office here. Screen fatigue is a big thing for a lot of people, especially if you do have an office job, if you do tend to work with more technology-based things. You do tend to kind of get tired, even though it doesn't feel like it, and it definitely doesn't feel like it most of the time. You know, you're looking at a screen, you don't feel it, but your eyes feel it. And if you do tend to have a headache during the day, it might be because you have screen fatigue. It might be because your eyes have been looking at a screen for too long. They have kind of tightened up for a little bit. You know, more than they need to be, and that kind of helps cause either eye pain, headaches, or kind of even blurry vision. And according to kind of the American Optometric or Optometric Association, the muscles in your eyes are not supposed to stay tight for long periods. So actually, it is a common myth that it is blue light that harms your eyes. In fact, there have been recent studies in the JAMA network that have kind of shown the opposite. It's actually not the blue light that hurts your eyes as much. It's actually the fact that your eyes are tightening up more often than they are as they are exposed to this light, because either one of two things: it's either really bright and your eyes have to kind of focus on it, or you're just focusing on something that's really close by for long periods of time. So kind of one of the ways that I kept, as I was reading some of the research, I kept seeing these kind of three numbers pop up. It's actually the same number repeated 3 times, 20-20-20 rule. So really quickly, I know we talked about this as a recap, we talked about it in Good Morning Black Hills. What 20-20-20 means is take a break from sitting at a computer every 20 minutes, and during that break, focus your eyes on something about 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Doing this, kind of pausing this close-up work and looking at something in the distance gives tight muscles time to relax a little bit, making sure that you're not overworking your eyes and causing that strain, long period strain on your eye muscles. Also have you heard of like blue light glasses?
Yeah, I have, and you know, in college I used them for about a year, and then I kind of noticed, you know, nothing was really helping, especially during those online classes, online stuff. You're always staring at your computer screen. I kind of veered away from them after a little while, because you know, you never know if they're working or not.
Well, yeah, no, and it's actually interesting to say that, because I also had a pair of blue light glasses. Come to find out, I stopped using them as well. But as I was doing my research here, actually, it turns out blue light glasses are not as effective as they claim to be. In fact, according to some of the research that I was reading, it says products like blue light glasses claim they help reduce digital eye strain, improve sleep, and prevent eye disease. But studies have found that glasses are not that effective. It all comes down to our behavior when it comes to using technology and digital devices. That, you know, there's very small amount of blue light that comes through the screen that kind of builds up over time, yes. But at the end of the day, it's more of like, you know, if you're on your phone at night in the dark, you're straining your eyes. If you're on your computer in the dark or in low light, you're straining your eyes, because it also depends on the bright. Work with the brightness levels, work with the dark mode that a lot of devices now have that kind of reduces that blue light strain for your eyes. Also, maybe even change your desk setup. If you have an office and you work from an office, change that desk setup. Kind of working at arm's length away from your screen kind of helps out with that too. And that's all according to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, which is really cool. And then, of course, we've talked about it before, quality of sleep. Getting good sleep definitely helps out. Turning your phone off or whatever device you're using an hour or two before you go to bed definitely helps a lot.
Yeah, no, some of those things I do need to implement into my day, especially that 20-20-20 rule. And even just now, you know, because we do stare at screens so long, kind of getting up, taking a break, take a little lap around the office, something like that, could definitely kind of help with some of that stuff that I'm struggling with.
Talking about that, talking about setting that habit, I might actually have to take some of your advice from that habit when you talked about kind of how to keep with that habit. I'm going to definitely have to do that with this, because I want to try to do this a little bit more often. 20-20-20 rule.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't take over 200 days to get into our routine.
Exactly.
That's right, yeah. Well, Well, some other health stuff is you might be wondering about. I am wondering about this myself, which are those prebiotic sodas that everybody's been seeing everywhere.
Yes.
Those popular brands like Olipop, Poppy, they claim to be good for you, good for your gut health, and kind of still have that similar soda taste, but you know, a little bit healthy for you.
Yeah.
So a prebiotic soda, which I just learned, is a carbonated beverage that contains prebiotics, which are non-digestible food components that benefit your gut. So are good for your gut health, help with digestion, help with your blood sugar, other things like that. Lots of health benefits that I didn't necessarily know go into those.
Yeah.
Some of those are improves digestion. The prebiotics act as a food source for beneficial gut bacteria, promoting those regular bowel movements and reducing constipation, which that's because they're high in fiber. So if you're needing maybe a little fiber supplement, a little boost to your diet, these prebiotic sodas can be a great substitute because other sodas, I mean, they don't have any of these health benefits.
Exactly, and I'll tell you right now, like I was saying in Good Morning Black Hills, I did do that kind of switch from a ginger ale that I used to drink a lot, now to more of a prebiotic sodas. And kind of, I've seen it definitely improve my gut health a little bit. Granted, yes, you're not supposed to moderate, right? You don't want to drink like multiple of these a day. You want to drink like one or two, if even one, if you know, and if you want to have two, sure, but just one maybe per meal or one a day would definitely help out, especially if you're, you know, eating. It kind of helps out because I know a lot of soda drinkers like to kind of eat something while they're drinking the soda, so maybe replace that could help out a little bit.
Now the way it kind of supports your gut health is it helps maintain a healthy balance of that gut bacteria, which is obviously great for your overall health and immune function, but it also helps reduce your blood sugar due to the fact that you're ingesting less sugar. Of course, if you're a heavy soda drinker, those sugars in those sodas can kind of affect that. So switching over to these might lower your blood sugar levels, help regulate that a little bit. And some of those prebiotic ingredients that are good for you are inulin, chicory root fiber, Jerusalem artichoke fiber, and apple cider vinegar. Now, none of those sound very great to just kind of down every morning. So these prebiotic sodas can be a great way to get those nutritious aspects into your life without having to, you know, change up much. Instead of reaching for, you know, a can of root beer, you just reach for that prebiotic root beer that I've seen on those shelves. But now I'm interested in trying because
no, 100%. I mean, I think and another thing that I don't know, this is nothing to do with the prebiotic sodas, but I've recently started getting into kind of like the little health shot things. That you see,
those
like
are
turmeric and ginger and whatnot. Which are really cool. We're gonna have to do some more, probably do that next week and look into it a little bit more. But it's really cool along with the prebiotic sodas because, some of them say that they boost your energy, and at least the ones that I've had a boost in energy most of the time.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna have to try these, but keep in mind they still contain sugar and calories. So if you're looking for something that doesn't have that, maybe reach for something else. But otherwise, these are great for regulating your fiber intake, that's for sure. And some other things to keep your eye out for on regulating your gut health is butter versus oils.
Yeah, so so apparently, there's been this trend where a lot of people are like, use butter instead of oils, you know? Well, sometimes it's healthier, sometimes it's not. It just depends on the oils you're using, of course. I know I talked a little bit about hydrogenated oils, which means that they add pretty much, it's used to increase the shelf life, but they add hydrogen into the oil itself to make it, to increase that, but make it kind of more of a solid. And you want to avoid those oils in general because those are not good for you because they make the unsaturated fats saturated, and you don't want saturated fats because those are not the healthy kind of fats that our bodies need. In fact, this trend that says replacing butter for oil is actually kind of the opposite. You kind of want to be you take some caution when doing this because there has been research again in the JAMA Internal Medicine Journal that kind of revealed that actually higher butter consumption was associated with 15% higher risk of mortality. And compared to plant-based oils like soybean, canola, and olive oil, which are the healthier oils that you should be using, as long as it's not hydrogenated, which means that they've actually been linked to 16% reduction in total mortality. So it can kind of, again, it depends. Moderation's a big thing again, but it depends on which oils you eat. The healthiest oils, as I just touched on, olive oil, canola oil, soybean oils, The reason why they're healthy is because they come with a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, which are anti-inflammatory. You want to use those. Again, make sure you read and make sure you get higher quality of those oils, because the higher the quality, the better it is for you. Of course, the lower the quality, unfortunately, the less healthy it is for you.
Yeah, which is typical with anything.
Yes.
And you know, that doesn't mean butter should be completely eliminated from your diet.
Not at all.
It's just, you know, if you're kind of cooking something, like you're sauteing vegetables, maybe reach for that oil instead of the butter, or you know, something like that. But you know, when it comes to baking, I'm gonna stick with butter probably for that.
100%. No.
But yeah, just kind of reaching towards those healthier oils for when you have the option, for when it's easy, for when they're interchangeable. Those moments can reduce your health risk, and you might not even be knowing it.
Exactly.
So.
And you know, in fact, kind of talk a little bit more about those oils you could also use. These ones you might want to use in moderation. Again, it's corn, peanut, and sunflower oils. The reason why they're fairly healthy for you is for the omega-6 fatty acids that they contain. Kind of help you regulate some of those, your metabolism, support bone health, in some cases even have anti-inflammatory properties. Again, you want to use those a little bit in moderation, just because omega-6 can also have an adverse effect and kind of do the opposite of that if you consume it too much too often. But other than that, yeah, don't, you know, and butter is also, like I said, butter has also really good health. It's really good for you. You know, maybe a combination of, like you said, like you mentioned, if vegetables, use oil. You know, if you're doing your meat and whatnot, maybe use butter with rosemary or something like that, which is usually the go-to for a lot of, you know, beef recipes, butter, rosemary, and some other herbs and spices. But I mean, other than that, you know, moderate yourself with what you eat, whether it's oils or butters. Don't replace one for the other 100%, as that can also, you know, not be the best for your health. But other than that, though, I mean, what oils do you use, Kate, for the most part?
I typically stick to olive oil and canola oil for most of my baking needs, but those are also the cheapest oils, honestly, that you can find. But yeah, now after learning all about this, I might have to splurge a little bit on my oil to make sure I'm keeping myself healthy and lowering those risks of anything happening. And apparently getting into healthy oils and healthy soda. That's my goal for the week. That's for sure.
I'll tell you right now, it's like I'm a big fan of olive oil because I don't know, I really like the flavor of it. And then also I really like this oil plate. I don't know if you've been downtown Rapid City to the oil store there. I forgot what it's called. It's like Vita Sana. I believe that's what it's called, but it's a really good. I like their oils. They have different flavored olive oil, you know. And again, not sponsored or anything. But I'm just saying, if you have some time to go check that out, you should, because some of their oils most of their oils, to be more exact, are really good. But with that being said, that is all we have for you today. We'll see you back here next week, Tuesday. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, Friday, for your weekend weather outlook. But for now, I'm Humberto de Sanchez.
And I'm Kate Robinson. Have a good day.